Okay guys, this is the video that is for just the GSA options. You only have to do this one time. So we click on options. To start, by default, threads to use normally is 50. I use 200 because I'm on a dedicated server. Each of my VPSs use 200. I would advise starting out with 100. Look at your memory usage and your CPU, and you can slowly bring it up. So you put 200. HTML timeout, I put at 180. By default, it will come as not checked for use proxies. You want to use proxies, so you check it. I use it for search engines. I click that and I click on private because I use private proxies. Even if you use shared, you need to still click on private. You put a check mark on submissions and on private again. And you put a check mark on stop projects on no active proxies and restart projects on active proxies. Okay, to put your proxies in there, you click on configure and you click on import from file. Now most proxy companies are going to send you an email with a host port login password format. I just open a text file and save it as proxies. So I import from file. I click on my proxy file. Test proxies, click all, click against Google search. And then now it's making sure that they're all good, basically. Okay, we'll click OK. Oh, I'll show you this. The options up here, this is for public proxies. I don't really know anything about the public proxies. You could have questions. You can go ahead and look at the GSA forum. They'll help you with that. So there's 84 good. So there's 84 good out of 100, basically. You just click OK then. All right, go back and click on options. Okay, so this screen, this submission screen is done. Now click on CAPTCHA. So to add something in this box right here, you click on add and then you just click whatever you want. Like if I want that one, then I just click that. If I don't want one there, I just click on delete. So I have GSA CAPTCHA breaker and I have spam villa. Okay. CAPTCHA breaker is at 2 retries and I don't care what PR is. And I make sure that this is deselected by default. That's checked. Finally, ask user if everything else fails. Deselect that or you have a bunch of pop-ups. Same thing with spam villa. I have it at 3 retries and make sure that this is unchecked again. And I don't care what the PRR is for the spam villa either. Okay, you go to indexing. By default, this is checked. Submit backlinks URLs to blog search engines. Basically, that is just pinging. Deselect that. You don't need that because all you're doing is pinging your links, and we are going to use an indexing service. So there's no need to be pinging. So I use my indexer, which is the Incredible Indexer. I give you API. You just put it in there. And then I use indexification and the same thing. I just use the API key and you just put it in there. If you want to just do follow, you can just check that. I don't do that and I don't care about the PR again. You can do drip feed if it's supported. My indexer does not. Indexification does. Click on filter. Skip submissions if the URL domain is appearing on following blacklist. By default, I think it's like the first 5 of these are checked. I go through and check them all. And then the maximum size of website to download is at 2 megs, and I put it at 3. Some people put it at 50, but then it just slows down your posting, and it slows down your submissions and your verification. So I leave it at 3, and the speed's pretty good. So, and then click on advanced. You always want to have your verified checked. And if you click on like open folder, it'll take you to where your verified list is. Your verified list basically is gold because all your other projects can post on a verified list. All your projects can post on all of them, but you really want the verified because you know that that's a good list. When you're scraping and importing lists, you can check identified. That way, all of your identified will go to your identified folder. and then you make a project and just clean that, and it saves to your verified. And it saves to your verified, so again, you can just keep on making the same type of links again. Otherwise, if you're not cleaning, there's no need to have it checked. Save PR with URLs, that's by default, I leave that. And by default, enable important messages, I always leave that. And by default, detect internet connection problems and stop restart projects. I always leave that too. If you have API for search engines, you would just put it in there. I don't use search engines. I did when they first came out. I don't now. So those are all the options that you need to have set up on your GSA. Again, you only do this one time. The only time you would ever change it is if you're importing scraped URL list and you need it to be saved and identified, or if you change something on your indexing, if you need like a different API key basically.